So Mark Aliff comes out swinging. Mark Aliff was erroneously reported by the Pueblo chieftain by Peter Roper, and I don't know if he's corrected that mistake or not. But as being for the District 3 candidacy when he was actually for the at-large candidacy. So the chieftain, that's the truth. That's the daily that gives us the truth. What happens when they get some shit wrong? So Mark Aliff, I really enjoy actually his Mark Aliff for Pueblo City Council page. He puts together these paragraphs that are very thoughtful and critical at the same time. I want to read this little paragraph here that he wrote. The article was Growing City of Pueblo Revenue Could Force Tabor Vote, T-A-B-O-R. And apparently you have to ask the citizens of Pueblo if they want to donate their money or give a refund. I want a refund. Give me a fucking refund. So essentially what that article, the main nuts and bolts about it is it went through and said that, you know, people were talking about more money for the zoo, more money for the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, and a whole bunch of other shit, the Chamber of Commerce, and just a whole bunch, you know, it's a budget, so it's got a whole bunch of things, right? So the article went ahead and sort of itemized all this, and then it pointed out that one of the major reasons why there was an $8 million surplus was due to marijuana revenues and some other shit. So it was a very complicated article that had a lot of moving parts and details to it, but he read it, and this was his take on it. So this is Mark Aliff for Pueblo City Council. Wow. The city is on track for additional millions due to the increased sales tax revenue. However, council makes no mention of hiring more police or paving the crumbling roads. Instead, they suggest that the windfall be shared by local non-profits. Is this not the fundamental dysfunction of our city leaders? They're going to ask us for a half-cent public safety tax and a quarter-cent road tax, while at the same time gifting any excess revenue to the non-profits. Not one word was said about increasing the authorized positions on the police force, or maybe earmarking a few million for road repairs and paving. I'm not suggesting that the local non-profits are undeserving of more money. However, I am adamant that until our streets are protected and paved, there should not be any talk of increase in dollars already spent on the non-profits. It must be the priority of City Council to put safety and infrastructure first in line in the budgetary process. I will be the fiscal conservative that will work with the other members of Council to ensure that our safety and streets are priority number one. God bless you and our great community. So he really worked himself into a crescendo there. But he makes a good point about the excess money. So there's excess money, and now people are talking about, let's give $100,000 more to the Chamber of Commerce. Well, hurry up. As soon as, you know, the city makes more money, we're just going to give a shit ton of money to the, you know, business arm of the community, the Chamber of Commerce. Let's just give them $100,000. Yeah, hopefully that actually brings people in. Will that even work? And what he's kind of saying is, like, let's take a step back. And he's sitting there saying that since we have all this surplus money, then why are we getting a sales tax for road and for police? Since we have excess money, we can afford the roads. We can afford the police. We don't need to raise taxes. So I think he makes a good point that the focus, it shouldn't be on, wow, we got all this extra money, let's hurry up and spend it. So I think he's like, hey, take a step back, let's see what we're doing. He also makes a good point in terms of where his priorities lie. Clearly, he's about public safety and infrastructure. He thinks that there's criminals running, you know, wild all over Pueblo. There's break-ins and there's, you know, just a shit ton of bad things that are happening. So we need the police as soon as possible, because without 24 extra police, and then I'd be interested to see would he be for question 300 or the other one, right? There's two public safety issues. Which one is he for? The one with the oversight committee or the one that just give 24 more police for the fuck of it? I heard there's a lot more police in the Pueblo County Sheriff's Department, the sheriff's deputies. So we got over 200 city police here, and then what, 200 to 300 more county police? How many more police do we actually need? I think what we need is good police, because when the police go around being a fascist thug, it teaches the entire world to be fascist thugs. Just go in there, start kicking ass, taking names, right? Shoot first, ask questions later. And then you wonder why Ricky Munoz gets shot in the alley. Shoot first, ask questions later. It's a bad mentality. Until violence, you should exhaust all peaceful options until violence is the only option. And then do it, right? If violence is the only option to stop a mad person or whatever, if there's a suicidal person, I don't know. Anyways, so I just want to, read that off. Mark Aliff for Pueblo City Council. He wants to, instead of just giving a bunch of nonprofits money, let's make sure our money is in the streets and let's make sure the money is in the police department. That's his two main things. So it'd be interesting if he thinks that there are bad cops. What about whistleblower protection? Would you fire a bad cop? Because I don't think any of these cops will ever get fired for any reason, no matter what, unless they murdered a baby on camera. That'd be the only way that any of these police officers would get fired, or if they get arrested. There was one guy that got arrested for domestic violence, but I guarantee you that was from the other lover of the woman. I don't know for sure, but I bet you it had something to do with that. So what I like about it is it's a clear message. I like that he's looking at these issues and he's providing a very thoughtful perspective, and his perspective is we need to pave our roads. We need to have public safety now. That's our priority. So why are we taking our excess money and not putting it into these things? Why are we increasing sales tax to pay for the road, to pay for the police, when we have several $1 million surplus? Why don't we use that surplus to pay for these things? I think the rebuttal would be that it's not enough money, but I think he makes a good point. We got surplus money, so why are we jacking up taxes, right? Why are we jacking up sales taxes? So, point for Mark Aliff for making a good point.